Yo, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone's having a great weekend and a great Monday. Yeah, I want to quickly get into the charts. Obviously, yesterday we saw quite a bit of a move to the downside, and I want to speak about what's happening with the altcoins right now. So, we did speak about on the weekend or on Friday that we were expecting price to potentially come lower, which is why it's hard to look for longs. But I want to speak about exactly where I'm looking at for potential setups for the day, and then also what I'm looking at for total 3. Okay, so as you can see, guys, with the crypto coins heat map, you can see Bitcoin almost down 3% on the day, Ethereum down 5%, XRP at 4.5, BNB, Dogecoin. You know, we almost seen double-digit days there. Okay, and I want to speak about why exactly we can potentially come lower, and yeah, for me today, I'm actually looking at a few setups. So I want to speak about Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. But essentially for Solana, I want to see Sol potentially come down to 171. Okay, so basically with Solana, you can see it's kind of trading in this descending wedge formation. Okay, so as long as price stays above this level over here at 171, then I'm actually looking at potential setups here, because if we hold this 171 zone, which is that bullish fair value gap from August 2025, okay, you can see every time we tap this zone, multiple rejections from this level. Okay, so what does that mean? It means price can potentially bounce from this level. Okay, also this is a daily support zone, so daily support zones have more confluence and more bounce support than most other time frames. Okay, so if you're thinking about a 15-minute time frame compared to a daily support, you're not going to get the bounce that you would if it were for the daily support. Okay, so basically with Solana, if price were to bounce from this zone, I'm interested in taking longs back up to 191. Okay, because if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we are holding this level, but we potentially, if we break this wick over here, then this is going to be a problem. Okay, if we break this wick over here, then I do think that we take out this 171 level. Okay, so what needs to happen is, if price were to bounce from this zone, I want to see a 4-hour candle close back above this candle, like a bullish engulfing candle, and then we can potentially move higher. Okay, so the whole thing right now is just to be patient and wait for a reaction within this level, because the thing is, if you jump in now, your stop loss is going to be below this wick, right? So if your stop loss is below this wick, your downside for this trade is going to be around about 4.6%. So you put a 20x leverage, that's minus 80% on the trade, right? So in order to get a good position, you need to see price actually tap these levels before you jump in, right? And I know a lot of you guys don't have patience. I know everyone, waiting for these levels is a bit of a grind, but I do provide you guys with the updates every single day. So basically, I will send this signal to you guys if it does occur. Okay, so you don't have to worry about waiting for the zone, because I'll just send you the signal. Okay, but essentially, if Bitcoin, if Solana doesn't actually bounce from the zone and we just get a bounce right now, what are we going to look for? Okay, because there is a possibility that we bounce from here, because we're super oversold right now, right? If you look at the RSI and all these other indicators that I don't use, but they're a bit of a lagging indicator, all of them are oversold. Okay, so there is a potential for a bounce here, but remember, it is a Monday. What happens on Mondays? Fake out Mondays, right? So there is a potential that we might have a fake out to the downside and then we just get a pump today. To be honest, I don't see that happening, just because of price action and this massive selling pressure that happened last night. But in terms of looking for longs off this level, we need to wait for a 15-minute close back above this high. Okay, and the reason why I say above this high is because right now our structure is still bearish, right? We broke this low. Can you see how we broke this low over here, and price closed really strong below this previous wick, showing that sellers are in control right now. Okay, so now that we know sellers are in control, looking for bounces, it makes it a lot harder, because we don't know if it's actually going to bounce from these zones. Okay, but when you have a daily support sitting at this level, there's a high probability of for there to be a bounce. Okay, so what I'm going to look for here is we're going to go down to the 5-minute time frame, and we're going to see, okay, if Solana were to actually break out over here, where can we actually look for potential setups? So the whole thing with market structure, if you guys are new to trading, market structure, basically, you need price to obviously create new structure in order for price to continue going higher, right? If we're in a downtrend, price needs to break previous highs and previous lows, right? So for me to actually look at a Solana long on the 5-minute time frame, we need structure to change, right? We need higher highs, we need higher lows, we need price to change character, we need market structure shifts, we need a whole bunch of factors in order to actually take this long, or we just play the daily bounce off this level. So because we're not at that level and price could just continue going higher, we actually just can play the bounce off this break of this high. So I'll show you guys what I'm looking at right now on the 5 minute. Just give it a second. Here we go. Looks like the screen. There we go. So basically on the 5 minute, you can see price is still in this downtrend. So what I want to see now is I want to see this previous high get taken out. Okay. So this is the 5 minute time frame. If we can take out this high at 0.72, then I'll be looking like, okay, structure potentially might be getting a bounce off this level, but I want to see strong candles close. I want to see price create higher highs. I want to see something showing us that this bounce is actually going to happen. Okay, because if you take a long off here, I just showed you the downside risk is around about 5% on the trade, and 20x leverage is minus 100% on a 10x leverage, that's minus 50%. Okay, so if you're willing to risk that, you can. But the problem is, there's a high probability that we do take out this low. So why would you want to enter before we haven't taken it out? Remember, rather trade with institutions than retail, right? Because a lot of people like me and yourself, we retail traders, right? And we don't really want to be trading with other retail, because if everyone's going to be longing off this level, the institutions are going to try trap everyone and try push price lower, right? So you want to see price take out these lows first, and then we get involved, right? Because if we take a long right now, we can just get cooked off this level, right? So the probability of us going high off this level is very high, because we have multiple confluence that we do get a bounce from the zone, but we have not yet even touched this low. We have not yet broken this low. We have not yet even tapped this low over here. So there's a high probability we come down first and then we go higher. Okay, so that's Solana. Right now I'm not really interested. We just wait for the break of structure, and then we look for longs, wait for the higher highs and higher lows to be formed. Okay, then let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's looking terrible as well, right? So I was speaking about this on Friday, if you guys remember, in that video. So with Ethereum, we have to hold this level, right? This is the daily time frame, and this daily close is absolutely terrible. I mean, if somehow this candle can flip bullish there, I'll be impressed, and we can look for longs. But looking at this bearish candle, we've created a little bit of a top wick, right? We created a top wick, but this candle does not look like it wants to flip bullish, right? So what is the plan? What is the game plan? So the game plan for me today is I'm actually looking at $3,540, right? I know it's a bit low, but guys, Ethereum is breaking this previous level, which is kind of scary. Okay, so can we take shorts now? Personally, I'm not going to take a short off this level, just because of how we are at support, right? And taking shorts from this zone just to catch this move here, you can. I mean, it's quite a big move, but I would rather play the bounce at this level. We have multiple confluence that this could be a bounce zone. We have a bullish fair value gap sitting here. We have the 0.5 Fibonacci sitting here. We have multiple support from July 2025. We have the support hold from October 10th. Remember, we had that massive dump on October 10th. So the problem is right now is, can we actually play the bounce? Well, we have to wait and see, because the thing is with Ethereum, taking a short here just doesn't make sense, because we're at such a crucial zone, right? So the probability of us shorting from the zone, it just doesn't make sense, right? So for me today, we're going to have to be cautious today, guys, because you can see that there's a lot of selling pressure in the market. A lot of people are scared right now. We can actually have a look at the fear and greed index in a second, because I want to show you guys the market right now. A lot of people are fearful, right? And what happens with that is when I start buying, right? Whenever I see a red day like this, I'm actually going to put in money today, because this is when a lot of people are selling. Yeah, we're at 42. Have a look at this. This is crazy. Okay, so have a look at the fear and greed index here. So the last time we were at this level was, let's have a look here. This is interesting. So a lot of people actually trade the fear and greed index as like an indicator. So a lot of people will be like, okay, if it's below 30 or if it's below 40, they actually just put a 5x leverage in long, right? Personally, I don't do that. That is just not how I trade. But a lot of people have this notion that if price were to actually bounce from these levels, the fear and greed index would have to be low. But you can see even last month, right, 71. And if you sold last month, if you put a short in last month, I mean, you'd be cooking right now, right? So with the fear and greed index being at 42, yesterday at 37, it is showing us that, you know, there is a potential for a bounce very, very soon, okay? So anyway, with Ethereum, yeah, like I said, guys, I think we come lower here. I think price comes lower, 3,540. It's a bit tricky right now. Like looking at shorts, what needs to happen for Ethereum for shorts? You know, there is this level here, that we can potentially just bounce from. It's a very, very tricky day here, because we broken support. You know, selling pressures very, very. I mean, you can just see that it wants to come lower still. But the problem is taking shorts at support here. I just don't like it. You know, I'm more of a breakout trader, and this is a breakout potential trade. But there's no confidence that we're gonna come down here, right? Because we still have support over here. So you know, taking shorts at this level here just doesn't make sense for Ethereum at all. But I do think that playing the bounce at 3,540 could be a clean move here. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting. It will be very, very interesting to see what we can get today. And then yeah, there's a couple other tokens. Let me just have a look at Bitcoin here. Let's have a look at BTC. So let's have a look. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so if we look at BTC right now, just move this. Yeah, we're bouncing from the value area low. The point of control is sitting at around about this level here at 110, 250. We did lose that trend line over there over the weekend. Sorry, over Friday. Beautiful retest of that level and beautiful reaction to the downside. But honestly, what I want to look for here is, like, if we can just bounce here. If the Bitcoin range is, you know, this is definitely that level that it would bounce from, right? Just looking at the daily time frame as well. It's a strong level. Look to the left over here. Look how strong this level is. 107,400. Super strong level here, and we're currently at there right now. So Bitcoin needs to bounce, guys. Bitcoin needs to bounce. The thing is, guys, it is a Monday, so I do think that we take out some more lows, right? Because the thing is with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin were to actually take out this low today, then I would actually look at a potential move to the upside, okay? Because if we take out this low and flip bullish back above this level, that's telling us that we've grabbed liquidity. There is a possibility of us going higher. Okay, so because we haven't taken out this low, you know, just taking longs at this level for me just doesn't make sense. I'd rather grab the liquidity first and then look for potential moves to upside. So let's see if Bitcoin can take this low, flip bullish, and then we look for longs there. But guys, get ready, because you know, longs are definitely on the table very, very soon. And the reason why I say that is especially for total 3, you guys. Have a look here. Total 3 is at such a crucial zone. Total 3 has to bounce, otherwise alts are cooked. Alts are definitely cooked if we break this level here. So I'm watching so closely here. I do think that, you know, opportunity right now is at the max. You know, buying crypto within these levels, personally, guys, I'm not saying you guys should, but personally I do think it's good in terms of like buying the ones that can actually move. But you know, what I'm talking about is like hype. I'm talking about, you know, Atom, you know, Ethereum, BNB, you know, Litecoin. I want to speak about Litecoin in just a second as well. But total 3 at a crucial zone here. We have to hold the zone, guys. It's forming a bit of a head and shoulders pattern as well. Not looking too good. So just trade what we have on the chart. And then Litecoin, guys. Litecoin stood at the point of control. I still think that if Litecoin can come down here, that's crazy. But this is the ultimate buying opportunity over here for Litecoin. You know, we are at the point of control right now on the weekly time frame. But yeah, for me right now, I'm just gonna stay and just wait because we don't have confirmation that we've broken support yet, right? So once support gets broken, then we can look for like retracement sells, right? Because if support isn't broken, then we still have opportunity to play the bounce. But when we break support, structure is changing. You know, we look for retracement sells. There's a high probability of us taking sells more than buys. Okay, so for example, if price were to actually, hold this level over here, then I do think that price can continue going higher. Okay, so Litecoin, just watch it, keep it on the radar, but yeah, that's kind of my update today. I'm a little bit skeptical in the markets today. I mean, Nasdaq's at all-time high, guys. Rotation needs to happen soon. If we actually can look at the correlation here between Bitcoin and the Nasdaq, BTC, I actually forgot what it was. BTC. Let me just grab it quickly. I actually forgot what it was. 1 second. Oh, DAG BTC. Is this it, eh? I don't think this is it. 1 second. Yeah, I actually don't know. I'm not too sure. I forgot. I honestly forgot. I haven't looked in a minute, but I saw it on someone posted a tweet about it. Anyway, I'll come back to that, but yeah, it's always nice to look at the correlations, guys, because I mean, when Nasdaq's all-time high like this, and gold actually, I want to speak about gold in just a second, but Nasdaq all-time high is crazy, and rotation, it's basically saying that there is a potential for this to roll over, and rotation into Bitcoin and altcoins could be near, right? Because also, if we look at gold, let's chuck it in here. Let's use Quanda. It's a bit of a better chart. So gold actually dumped super hard last week. That dump was the biggest dump in a very, very long time for gold. From the weekly close, it was from the weekly open to the weekly close, from wick to wick, sorry, around about 8.5%. Okay, but structurally, I mean, gold's still super bullish here. Although we did break this low here. That's actually interesting. Have a look at this. Yeah, so this is very interesting. So we obviously we broke this low. We created like a double top, broke this low over here, and we broke this low. So there's a high chance that gold just rose over from this level here. Yeah, this is a super strong zone here. Have a look at the 1 hour. Yeah, this is, I'd probably look for sells for gold in this zone over here. If you guys are trading gold today, we break above this level, then it's invalidated. But look for your reaction at around about 4,053. That would be your sell zone. But yeah, basically, guys, be cautious today. Bitcoin has to bounce from this level. Ethereum has to bounce from that level. Are we going to get the bounce? That is still to be clear. So I appreciate everyone for watching today. I'm going to start going live from Wednesday and Friday. I just moved into my new place, so this weekend was quite a mission with everything to move. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for joining in today, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday's stream. And yeah, make sure you guys join the Telegram group, because I will be posting some updates there. I'm obviously looking for signals. I'm just struggling today to find a potential bounce, because I still think we can, break support and come lower a little bit more. So I don't want to play the bounce right now. I'd rather wait for price to give us that confirmation that, okay, the low is in. But I appreciate everyone for being here, and thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next one.